What are you drinking there, mate? Tea or chocolate, coffee?
Coffee. I'm having some nice coffee. Mm-hmm.
Wicked, wicked. You're a coffee man, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Me too, mate. Me too.
I do tea as well, but it has to be, a certain kind of tea. When I get out there, the first thing I have to test is some PGT. Everybody been telling me about it. Hey, mate, you have to have some, like, bro, you have to have some PGT, and you'll be official.
You'll be officially British if you have some PGT. I love it.
PGT and an English breakfast with the. He told you what he told you was beans and eggs and.
Mate, yeah, full English breakfast: bacon, sausages, eggs, beans, fried bread.
Jeez.
Yeah, and they do something over here called what do we have? Hash browns with it as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sometimes even fried tomatoes.
Oh, well, they can leave out there. I'm good.
Yeah, me either. I can't.
I'm good.
Tomatoes with a breakfast, mate. But yeah, it's one of them.
I do ketchup, but I don't do tomatoes.
I don't know.
I'm funny like that.
Nah, it's not my thing. But there's a great place near to where you're going to be staying when you come over, mate. So we'll take you for a proper, good English breakfast. All right, that's one thing.
Yeah,
100%. So big dates and stuff coming up then, mate, for this part, and Jungle Syndicate. So that's one of the big reasons you're coming to the UK.
Yes.
We've been very lucky to grab you on part of that. So big up to the Jungle Syndicate guys. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Pixel. Yeah. Thank you, the whole Jungle Syndicate crew. Yes. Thank you.
So that is big things, mate. Big things. It's going to be a hell of an event down there in Bristol.
Yes, and I get to see a lot of the people which I've been fans of for like double-digit years. Yeah. Like it's the first time I'm actually meeting Flight, Fracture, Future T. You know what I mean? These guys, Hyper on Experience. You know what I mean? Like this star-studded event right here. This is sort of like. This is like a festival without being a festival. It's all in a club one time, and it's sort of better this way also.
Yeah. So it's kind of an old school way of seeing everything.
Right.
Something back to the 90s, really, for me, being into the scene from way back. And Bristol's just got a great vibe. You're going to love it up there, mate. It's a really, really great vibe. Lovely city. And a hell of an event to be going to doing your first thing in the UK with, mate. It's going to be awesome, isn't it?
Yes. But I'm happy that you guys. I'm happy that you guys got to be so now people get like a little preempt strike before what's going to happen, and probably in an extended view, because by looking at that lineup, I know I only probably have like an hour slot in the Jungle Syndicate thing. So it's like, okay, a little hour slot, but I know it's probably going to be a little bit longer with you guys. Like Codename our men's, I can at least breathe a little bit with the little clinic of dubs that I'm gonna put on for the people now.
Yeah. I'm excited to hear, mate. It's going to be awesome, and it's nice to have you along to our little thing as well, mate. Which again, it's that kind of the place where we've got the club and everything. It's that dark little. Old school vibe, so it's wicked.
I've seen the video clip. That place looks awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's very much a jungle vibe club, so it's great.
Yeah.
Cool. And that kind of brings me on to kind of different stuff there, mate. And you've already got the tea on, so it's great. But going back to your last release, mate, was on Guns Road. And it's big things happening out of Guns Road Music at the moment. So big up to the Guns Road crew, big time.
Big up Frankie Guns, yes.
There's some great stuff coming out of that stable at the moment, and that kind of takes me to the other release, mate, which Kyrie was on. So those guys, nice collaborations, some great vibes to be coming out of that stable, mate. How did you hook up with those guys?
All right, now how I ended up linking up with Frankie Guns, that came about via my brother is all right. Let me try to put this in very short, right? Yeah. All right, so my brother Sequence is on jungletrain.net. Yeah. I appear on his show a couple of times. Then I finally get my own show on jungletrain.net. But shortly beforehand of that, Sequence played like one or two songs that I was building from back then on his show, and then not knowing that him and Greenleaf were actually tight and close, and Greenleaf also plays on JungleTrain.net as well.
Yeah.
So
quite a few agreements.
So now once I get in, me and Greenleaf starts kicking it. I start sending him records to play on his show.
Wicked.
Then Rumbleton started pressing him inside the chat, like, yo, what is that? What is that? Who made that? Who made this? And after he tells me, like, yo, Rumbleton's asking about your records, he hooks me up with Rumbleton. Now, once I get to clicking up with Rumbleton passes me over to Frankie Guns. And the right period of time when he was at a crossroads, because it's like, played a record, I think at just had closed or something like that, and he was already in the mind of, all right, now am I going to build a sound system or I'm going to do a record label? And that's when Rumbleton passed me over to Frankie, and he's like, nah, going to do a record label. That's it.
Yeah.
And once I gave him a whole slew of songs and everything, and he picked out like about a good 20 of them, that was it. That just started the ball rolling. And from there, I get to meet everybody therefore after.
Yeah, of course. So that was kind of a big intro for you, really, then, mate. That was a good door in. Yeah,
definitely.
Oh, mate, fantastic, brilliant, and nice to be part of that vibe, mate. Hey.
Yeah, definitely.
Got a great vibe going on over there at the moment.
Really, that's like my extended family out there now.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like to me, mate. That's what I was kind of picking up from that way. So how cool is that, mate? Really nice.
Yeah. The guys over there in Canada is great, but also the guys over there in UK is great, because therefore after I start linking up with people like Stretch.
Yeah.
Don't want to give too much spoilers, but you will be seeing some Krugah on AKO beats pretty soon. Pretty soon. So large up Stretch.
It's big up yourself, Stretch. Some great stuff on that label, man, and just super heavy, you know. And I've got releases from way back in the day, mate. I've got an extensive record collection, same as, you know, John and everything here. So lovely to see that whole thing coming back around, and the people that have really been there a long time getting the credit they deserve.
Yeah, definitely.
Stretch is a massive part of the history of the scene, so big up yourself, Mr. Stretch. So, mate, we're kind of, you know, we're touching on that, and in that sense, so influences within the kind of the jungle scene. We've talked about hip hop and that, mate, for you. Within the jungle scene, you know, influences and the journey. Kind of what turned you to the jungle scene, mate, out there? What was kind of your first?
All right, my first, how I ran into jungle. I used to work at a record shop called Soul Tracker in my old neighborhood of Brownsville, Brooklyn, right? And it's like it's a monster pop store, but it was well known like in Brooklyn, but really amongst the 5 boroughs, because we had a lot of in stores where we used to have people coming in and sign autographs and stuff. So I used to do a good percentage of the ordering, and usually the distributors just send over like a couple of promos and stuff to let us check out and whatnot. And I think this distributor, either it was Landmark or Top Line, is one of them. They sent over a couple of albums. They said, "Yo, there's some new stuff in the UK. We don't know if you can move it, but if you can, just let us know," or whatever have you. The year is 94, and this is at the time where Wu-Tang is already bussing.
Yeah.
Biggie is just dropping. Craig Mack is already out with Flavor in the Air. It's like the whole evolution of hip hop is happening at this point in time.
Yeah.
These guys sent us they sent two 12-inch promos. One of them had something with Groove Rider and a remix of 16 on Jack on the flip side. It was like a sorted like 12-inch EP remix or whatever have you. But the one thing that caught me was Hard Leaders 7 Jungle Dub 3. That album.
Yeah,
the album that changed. That album is the album that changed my life.
Yeah.
That's where the Dillinger Follow Me song is on. Yeah. I heard Dillinger Follow Me, Lemon D, Mad Melody, and Tech 9, London something. Those 3 records back to back on the one side. Yeah, that blew the moment I got that album in my hand, I told the manager, I said, "This album leaves with me today." That is it. I'm studying this album because it came at a time that I already got the basics down on the MPC of how to make beats and this, that, the other, and the third. But I was looking for a new sound because per evolution of sound, everybody sort of sounds the same or similar to the same. So it's like I'm trying to look for a newer sound so I don't sound like like everybody else. I don't care what genre it is, because I was trying to master making different stuff in different genres. So it's like, what is this? Nobody's on this. And ironically, we're playing it in the store. Everybody outside walking by with a capital W face, and not in a good way.
Yeah, right.
That didn't deter me. I didn't care. I was like,
look,
take that shit off. I was like, yo, y'all don't know. This is the future right here. I don't know. Y'all bugging.
Yeah.
And I was telling them that.
Yeah, especially with you saying, like, you know, obviously if that was 94 with the site, you know, the scene as big as it was with hip hop, with Wu-Tang, with Craig Mack, with all of that kind of stuff back then, it was
everybody's paying attention to that and not to like other sounds per se. Like other sounds were in the mix, like somewhere, like house is still popping at the time. It was bridging into hip house at that time, which was very important, because hip house to us is hardcore to y'all out there in the UK.
Yeah.
That was the major bridge going in the jungle at that point in time, where we were experiencing. But with so much hardcore hip hop coming out, it's like it seemed that it sort of faded out on our side, and you guys took the baton and ran with it, and started taking the extra kick off the four off the floor off of it, and just running with the straight hip hop breaks to make it, you know, grow into jungle.
Totally, mate. Totally. Yeah. That for us, that big change from 93 to 94, you know, Botex influence and reinforced influence to it. Dropping the four to the floor and making on a half beat with the difference was huge. Huge. And, you know, myself, my older brother used to DJ a lot of electro and hip hop from the 80s and that. So for me, and then my other brother was very much in the rave scene. So getting, you know, Stearns in 92, sneaking along was my first kind of understanding of the difference. And then the 93, by the time 94 come, I was a regular at a club called Labyrinth.
Oh, okay.
So Labyrinth, definitely the birthplace of a lot of, you know, great stuff in the jungle music scene. Kenny Ken there as the resident, DJ Chrome from Chrome and Time and all that, you know, and some great times there, mate, and being part of that and loving the same as you, mate, you know, just loving that different sound and something completely different and new that was ours effectively, you know. You know, it had come from something different. I think, like, you know, for yourself saying, you know, being from Queensbridge, the birth of hip hop in that way, you know, feeling that it's something that's unique and you've got something that's different and it's yours, you know, and love to hear that you found jungle in the same way, mate. It's amazing.
Yes, indeed. And I looked at it like another evolution of the regular sounds that I already loved in general. Like it's an evolution of just incorporating reggae, hip hop, soul, and all that into jungle. Yeah,
definitely, mate. I agree. Yeah, it's that beauty of that vibe, you know. Yeah. And I think that then takes us nicely, mate, into track 2, which I'd just like to kind of bring along and chat to you about, mate, which was, for me, one of the latest releases, and that's Ragamuffin Junglist.
Yes. Large up Marcus Visionary and Lush, and to put it out there, that Ragamuffin Junglist will be reaching vinyl. It will be reaching vinyl. It's not going to only be digital, because there's another 2 songs that's going to appear on that vinyl as well, which is Pillar Assault and to the Future.
Yeah,
Pure Madness.
You know,
so
Pillar
all those going to reach.
Another bad tune, mate. They're both seriously heavy. Ragamuffin Junglist and Pillar Assault, bad tunes. And kind of just tell everyone a little bit, you know, if you haven't heard it, where did that come from, mate? What was the
Ragamuffin Junglist came from the sample the sample that people hear in the record where it goes Ragamuffin. That's actually Brigadier Jerry. I was listening to a old school live dancehall tape, if I'm not mistaken. That had to been a Kilimanjaro tape. Yeah, it's a Kilimanjaro tape I was listening to. Yeah. And I'm just hearing him, and he's doing his regular routine. And in the same sense of where he's doing the routine, he's just extending it, waiting for like Josie Wells to get to the mic. So he's just, you know, doing the chorus over and over and over. And I'm sitting back, I'm on like my 7th spliff, and I'm sitting there and I'm hearing him do this, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Let me take that. Hold on. Let me take that. Let me see what we can work with right here. And then at the same time, in the back of my head, subconsciously, I wanted to do a remix for one of the first records that got me known within the jungle scene in the first place, which is Funky Drummer's Revenge.
Yeah.
But it didn't end up working out in that fashion, and it just worked into this record.
Amazing. Yeah. And again, then, mate, a kind of a tribute to what we were saying earlier, how sometimes it comes from nowhere, and that's when it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Wicked, mate, wicked. Okay, so again, if you're watching the podcast, the tune's not here, but if you're listening to it, it's going to come on in a month. So for those of you watching, the link's in the comments as we're speaking now. And for everyone else, yeah, here it is. This is Ragamuffin Junglist.
Selection car. I start the dance now, saying go.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent, brother. Excellent.
Yes. I hope I'm not over jumping certain topics or whatever have you.
Perfect, mate.
I'll try not to. It's sort of
no. It couldn't flow better, mate. It's perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Good.
Well, that kind of takes me then into the sense of where do you want to take your projects going forward, mate? For you having some options and what you'd like your music to be doing, what direction, because obviously I've listened to a lot of your stuff, mate, and it's not all just jungle. There's a lot of down tempo, cool dub, really digging the music, mate, but lovely different kind of vibey dub stuff out there. So what's your vision for yourself, mate, over the next few years, bit of time?
Honestly, one of my main goals is to not only just me, but I'm gonna try to at least incorporate a lot of what is popular out here into the jungle. As in hip hop, a little bit of trap, a little bit of grime here and there. There's a track that Due Diligence always plays on Dub Clinic called Shangle's Tune, which is a dub of mine where it has a little bit of the drill drums in the beginning of it. I'm trying to bring all those elements together to bring more awareness to it, especially over here stateside.
Okay.
Especially over here, because the one thing that pisses me off with how jungle is treated over here in stateside is this. For multiple double-digit years, jungle and drum and bass has been used in multiple adverts, multiple video games, multiple commercials, all sort of stuff, but it is never acknowledged like a main genre, like how you would get every other thing over here. You understand?
Yeah. It's like R&B, hip hop and stuff. It's not acknowledged in that way.
Lo-fi and all these other things are firmly acknowledged. Jungle, only a whisper. And you'd be surprised how many people love jungle out here. You'd be highly surprised. Okay. There's people that get introduced to it and is amazed by it, and it's where can I find more of this? And it's when you get that question, it's where can I find more of this? And that tells you a lot. Yeah.
So it's kind of bringing your music to a bigger audience, man.
Right. It's it's like you can find anything of trap, drill, anything else.
Yeah.
You can find jungle somewhat, but you really have to search.
Yeah.
For me back then when I got into jungle, it's at the time before Facebook, before YouTube.
Yeah, before mobile.
So I would, I went through multiple years trying to find the sound and couldn't find it, and used to run into it seldomly. The first thing I got was that Jungle Dub 3 album, and then there's multiple years after where I run into the Planet V double CD.
All right, okay, yeah.
That opened me up to everything Full Cycle and V Records. Because it's from right there, that's why I get to know more about Ray Keith, Ronnie Size, Die, and these guys. You get the knowledge. Yeah, Crust, Lemon D, Dillinger, all of them on there. So it's I get to really get more of that there, but in a different sense of how I got introduced to it from that Jungle Dub album. But it just shows me there's more out there.
Yeah. It's nice to hear that, mate, actually, and interesting to hear, and it's kind of, it's an exciting game to play then, mate, isn't it, when you're looking for things and you're finding new bits to listen to, and then suddenly something that you'd heard but you weren't sure of comes out in this, or what cracks me up is the different monikers, people go under, so you might hear something, damn, and then suddenly you find out it's Photech, or, know.
Right, and then it's not over here stateside. The majors didn't try to bring the sound of jungle across, because Def Jam had Def Jungle. We had before Raucous got Most Def, Talib, and High Tech. They were a jungle label.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't know that. The MCA had different things remixed in jungle, and they try to put it forth to the people, but it didn't really come across. So now when you get it, it's like it's imported from you guys out there, and we have to catch it like on an import 12-inch just by chance with that mix on it, opposed to what the American press is, where it doesn't have it on there.
Yeah, and it used to be the same for us with hip hop tracks. You know, you'd always be the American import because it would have a different version to the English version.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I used to run into that a lot. I used to run into that a lot in hip hop. Oh.
Yeah,
like, especially with
Raw. That was a classic. You know, there was a certain. I think the American album had Raw live on it, whereas the English version had a different copy on, you know. So you know, I get that whole thing, mate. So you've got to keep your eyes out, looking for the imports, looking for the different versions. Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. So kind of just it's slightly coming away from that, mate, but on the same vibe. New music for you this year. I know you've given us a sneak peek of something very interesting that you're going to be doing. Anything else, mate, on that vibe? Stuff that you've got planned, stuff that's coming soon, anything for us to look out for?
All right. Okay, a couple of things. All right, I already mentioned the Inner City Dance 12-inch for Ragamuffin Junglist. That's coming. Next from Guns Road 004 for me, there's another single, This Iration Inversion, and Up for Light. That's forthcoming. Also, like I said, the AKO thing, I only can tell you so much because Stretch is like this.
Mate, that's all we need to know, mate.
No. Let me rephrase that. Stretch is like Marvel. He's like Kevin Feige. You only can say so much, but you can't say too much. Just let them know let them know it's coming. That's it.
That's all we need to know, mate. That's great. That fills us with something very good to look forward to, without a doubt. So kind of off the back of that then, mate, other big date, obviously we're lucky we've got you here for Jungle Syndicate and playing for us at Codename. Anything else big planned this year, mate, for you back home or anywhere else?
Part two to the Arms House is definitely coming in Canada, like during the summertime. Apart from that, nothing just yet. I am scheming on something on the West Coast, but nothing's finalized yet. Yeah. But there might be. I might be hitting like 3 areas in the West, like LA and Seattle, and touching back to Denver with the Recon crew.
Oh, wicked.
Large up to Mike and Maggie and to Dogstar. Yeah. That was awesome last year when I went over there. That was nice. Yeah. Large up all Denver crew. Yeah.
Yeah, nice, mate. Really cool. So kind of just thank you, mate. Thank you for being our first guest on the podcast, mate. Absolutely amazing. I can't wait to get you over here in a few weeks' time, mate, and for us to catch up properly, get to spin tunes and do our thing. And on that note of spinning tunes, what equipment you used to using, mate, at the moment? Just for me, I'm having to be pulled out of the dark ages and using, the DJ M's and the controllers and everything else. But my preference, mate, is to still use Serato with vinyl and stuff on it. Yourself, mate, what would you say your preference?
Me, for my home setup, I have the Rain 72 with the Rain 12s. I still have my 1200s as well. Yeah, I'm just now getting into the whole feel of using the XDJ and the Nexus system and all that, because since that's the new industry standards.
Same here, mate. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm getting used to that. It's sort of, I understand it. Yeah, because sometimes you don't want to carry your laptop everywhere. Everything rocks out on the flash. Yeah. So that's that. I understand that aspect. So I get it now, So, but me, preface, I love my Serato, man. But either of those Serato have been acting up a slight, but I still love my Serato. I don't negate
awesome,
that. I come from the age of 1200. So
me too.
I've
got my 1200s that I've had since I was 15.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's big.
Yeah,
that's big.
I've travelled places, done some gigs. I've had them refurbished of late. And it's a dream, mate. It's a dream to still have them at that point. Same as, you know, being brought up on that stuff is just good.
15 years, what? That's awesome. I only had mine for like a good. You beat me by 5 years.
Oh, okay.
This year make about 10 years me having this.
Right. Oh well, mate. No,
you're way past me. I had mine for 10 years. You had yours way since you were 15. Like, oh my gosh, that's big.
Yeah, amazing, mate. They've done some journeys. When you're here, we'll have a spin and we'll have a laugh over some funny stories about them.
Those 12s, your 12's gonna be, your 12's honestly gonna probably be worth, whenever, God forbid you stop DJing, those 12s are going to be worth money because, like, at that time, those models is way different from the models that they're putting out now.
Yeah, they're the original Mark IIs. Yeah. So, very interesting.
The Mark 7s are awesome. I ain't going to lie. The Mark 7s are awesome, but nothing beats the old feel.
Nah, just different, mate, isn't they? Just different. Yeah. Well, like I say, mate, I just want to say a big up. Thanks so much, Mitch, for coming on. It's been a pleasure to have you on, mate. Been great chatting and lovely to hear the influences and what you got planned, what's happening in the future, mate. I'd like to wrap up tonight with something off of the Guns Road EP, and that is Kyrie. It's a heavy tune, mate. Heavy tune. So just to take us out of here, mate, just tell everyone a little bit about it, mate, and kind of where it came from.
All right. For those who are not fully into the whole thing of basketball and all that stuff, the song Kyrie is based off of what Kyrie Irving, formerly of the Brooklyn Nets, because you know he done got traded, thank goodness, because that Nets front office is shite. But that's another conversation by itself.
Yeah.
The drama that he was going, to give people a quick backdrop to it.
Yeah.
He shared a movie that's being streamed on Amazon Prime on his Instagram account.
That's right.
And all of a sudden, there was a whole heap of dust up and anger about it. And mind you, he didn't put a comment on it. He just shared it because he just sharing it. You know what I mean? It's your personal Instagram.
Yeah.
You should be able to share whatever you feel to share.
Yeah.
The moment he shared that, the same owner of the Nets threw him underneath the bus to these people, the ADL, which is the Anti-Defamation League, where they're supposed to be defending everything Jewish. I don't know how that whole thing of ADL puts a J in there, and like, I don't know. Anyways, they went after him unrighteously, and when he did his first interview to answer back about everything, that's where I took like all those parts from.
Yeah. To
show people that he wasn't being malicious, he wasn't being anti-Semitic, he wasn't doing that. He was actually putting people on like, yo, this is something you could watch and take from it what you could take from it and determine what was not right and what's right on it.
Yeah,
that's all it was. Yeah. And they created a whole Roman circus shit show on this man to the point that it just it made him fed up, and it made Kevin Durant fed up. It fed up then is 3/4 of the team, because if you look at it from that point, a lot of the players left, got traded, therefore after that. That just goes to show you it wasn't really him, it was really the Nets organization, because they was tormenting this man.
Yeah, and then they had a domino effect from there, didn't they?
Yeah. And then when you look at it like that, and then on the other side of looking at his situation, you know how many people who don't have that money or don't play sports run into things like that on a greater level that we don't hear about from our own jobs and this, that, and the third. Like, you say something about this person, you're going to get into a whole heap of scrutiny and problems and this, that, and the third, but yet let them do that to you, and they just look past it like you're invisible. Yeah. So that's what made me do that record and pick out the Syl Johnson sample. Yeah. That was courtesy of my brother Greenleaf, because he wanted to flip that record, but he felt funny about flipping it because it's like, yo, I'm a white soul brother. Like, this might not come across because the song is because I'm black.
Yeah.
He shot that idea to me. It just so happened. This was happening to Kyrie. I said, both of them together. We're going to do this.
Oh, wow. I love that, mate. Interesting. Yeah.
Yep. So that's how Kyrie came about.
Mate, amazing. So for everyone out there, here it is. This is Kyrie.
Oh Lord. Yeah, oh Lord.
I'm a light. I'm a beacon of light. That's what I'm here to do. You guys ask me questions about basketball, I give you my expert opinion. You guys ask me about other things, I give you my opinion, and it's met with whatever you believe the perception or the deception is. You guys investigate my life every day, and you justify it by serving your own purpose, which I honor. I would like the same respect in return, figuring out just like anyone else. So please keep that same energy when we're talking about anti-other things, because just because I post a documentary doesn't mean I'm anti-Semitic, and doesn't mean I'm automatically standing with everyone that is believing in it. So it's unfortunate timing that we're in, but I'm glad that I can stand on the truth, because I'm not afraid of these mics, these cameras. I used to be looking everyone in the eye and telling them the truth, and I'm proud of
I want you to know that I don't speak for myself, but I speak for y'all too right now. You see, if you're half white, light brown skin, or high yellow, you're still black. So we all got to stick together right now. But hey, we can't stop now. We can't stop now. Got to keep on, keep on, keep on, keeping on. We got to keep on, keeping on. Oh Lord.
figuring out that 300 million of my ancestors are buried in America. Where were you guys asking those same questions when I was a kid learning about the traumatic events of my familial history and what I'm proud to come from and why I'm proud to stand here and why when I repeat myself that I'm not going to stand down, it has nothing to do with dismissing any other race or group of people. So I'm not here to compare anyone's atrocities or tragic events that their families have dealt with generations of time. I'm just here to continue to expose things that our world continues to put in dark. It ain't right.
That they hold us back. They're holding us back. They're holding us back. I wonder.
That's where I sit. So, you know, these same questions that you guys ask, me dealing with it as being a melanated, pigmented person all around the world and dealing with racial biases against my skin color, demeaning me because of my religious beliefs, and I'm still sitting in this seat standing. So I take my full responsibility. Again, I'll repeat it, posting something on my Instagram or Twitter that may have had some unfortunate falsehoods in it. But I also am a human being that's 30 years old, and I've been growing up in a country that's told me that I wasn't worth anything, and I came from a slave class, and I come from a people that are meant to be treated the way we get treated every day.
Brother, thank you very much, mate. Pleasure chatting with you.
Big up to, definitely big up to Codename, my men. Thank you for having me come on the podcast and having me come up to rock a good session for the people. Then, yo, all of myself out there, please make yourself there at Codename, my men, over at Cafe Parfait. Y'all in for a big treat. I'm still making dubs all now, so whatever they heard in Canada, you're not gonna hear that. You're gonna hear something different and more on top of that. You know what I mean? Like this is the new law I have with myself. Every gig that I do, y'all gig and Jungle Syndicate, y'all gonna get a special set of dubs. So what you hear over at Codename, you're not gonna hear that at Jungle Syndicate. You want to hear something different. Like I'm building for the gigs itself.
Wicked, mate, wicked. I can't wait. It's going to be amazing. So, yeah, as you can hear from the man himself, if you're not ready, get yourselves down. It's going to be an awesome night. It's going to be heavy duty.
Yes, indeed.
So, yeah, there it is, mate, from the man himself. Big up yourself, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
And look forward to seeing you in a few weeks.
Yes, you too. Definitely.
So the last part of the show, the classic section. First up, picked by Moakz himself. Plight of the Innovators. Like Fast Floor back in the day. Began for us. Next up from Chiron, Sinister. The Mighty Metalheads. Great track. Remember, this is a classic section. Spin a few tunes. Sounds sinister. Nightmare, lads. 92. Message on social media for a classic request. Something we're going to bring in the next few podcasts. Get selections in. We'll do our best. You never know, we might get it. Next up, Clinical Sound. With and the Renegade snares. Hope you enjoyed the show. It's nearly it from us. The first of our Codename records, Codename Amen podcast. Thoroughly enjoyed bringing you some new music, some old classics, and a great interview with a man like Krugah, all the way from the USA. So don't forget Codename Amen, coming very soon. 24th of March. Cafe Parfait. That's launched earlier. You had Moakz and the Night Ravers, forthcoming, Codename Records.
set your soul on fire. Here comes music to set your soul on fire. Set your soul on fire. Fire, 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 fire.
Hardcore romance and slavery. All night we working all day. Hardcore romance and slavery. All night we working. Hardcore romance and they tell them what they hot. Hardcore romance and they tell them what they hot.
Fire, 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 fire. Here comes music. Here comes music. Here comes music. Set your soul on fire. Here comes music. Here comes music. Set your soul on fire.
The Blockout Crew, Hardcore Romance. My selection. Last up, we got Krugah selection.
Here comes fire.
Krugah's gone. The man like Dillinger. Follow me. A tune on Hard Leaders. If you heard the interview, you'll know why he picked it. So once again, thanks for tuning in. Sounds of Dillinger. As picked by Krugah for his history track. tuning in. That's it from me, DJ Rome, on the first Codename Amen podcast. Alongside the man like Clinical Sound, the technical ones and twos. Big up yourself, Mr. B. So big up to Moakz, big up to Chiron, big up to all the Codename Amen crew. Big up to everyone listening. See you again real soon.